Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different from some of my previous videos. This one is all about what happens if Donald Trump runs as an independent. And he's threatened to do that. I don't know whether he believes that he can win as an independent or not. He is fairly arrogant, so I suppose it is a possibility. I would have to say, based on my better judgment, that he can't possibly believe that he could win as an independent, and I'll show you why he can't win as an independent here in a second. Let's pull up my calculator here. So, um, based on different polls that I've looked at and different numbers that I've seen over the years, anywhere from about 35 to 40%. I've seen as high as 42% of the electorate considers themselves to be Republican. It's about 46 or 47%, something like that, which considers themselves to be Democrat. Um, Mind you, not all of those Republicans always vote Republican, or all of those Democrats always vote Democrat. That's something that you would see in every election. But let's go with a good round number. Let's say about 40% of the next electorate in 2016 ends up being Republican. Now, you look at how much support Trump has right now, and he has, some polls say he has about 35%. I actually believe his support is lower than that, maybe about 30, but we'll go with 35 for the hypothetical here. Uh, we got a 0.35. Okay, and according to another poll that I saw, about 68% of his supporters say they would support him in a third-party bid. So, what do we get from there? That's about 9.5%. 9.5% is nowhere near enough to win the election. That would be 9.5% of the popular vote is what he'd get. With 9.5%, you can't even actually expect him to carry a single state. He wouldn't. But what he would do, and the reason that Republicans are concerned about this, is any state that they won in the last election by less than about 9.5% could potentially be in play. So that would include Georgia, Missouri, and Arizona. And those are the three that aren't currently considered in play that would be, in play in that scenario. What would it do for the Democrats? Well, it would give them New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Colorado, and Nevada. Why would it give them those states? Basically, because those states are going to be close. I mean, how you look at it, they're going to be decided by 5% or less. And if Trump is getting, another thing, these are national polls for Trump, so we don't really know exactly where his support is centered, so to speak. I mean, I would imagine it's not across the board. He's got 9.5% support, but any of these states, especially the ones that were 5% or lower, going to be 5% or lower, and that describes all of those states I just selected. More than likely, he would influence it enough that they would go Democrat. These last four states here, um, of them, I would say he would probably cause Democrats to get Iowa and possibly even Georgia. I think the Republicans would still probably carry these two states. So this is what you'd be looking at as the electoral map if Trump ran as an independent. Now, obviously, clearly, he wouldn't win, but he could help the Democrats to win. Um, so that's pretty much, that's why Republicans are concerned about him running as an independent. Now, just as to finish on this issue, Trump, he can't actually win. From the way I see it, he can't actually win even if he was the nominee. Even if he was the nominee, um, I think he would still probably carry Georgia. He might carry Iowa. I don't think he would carry Nevada or Colorado. Both of those have considerable Hispanic populations, and despite his own claim that he's great with Hispanics, the polls tell a different story. Um, North Carolina, I'm not sure. He might be able to carry it just for the hypothetical. We'll give it to him. But that's about it. I mean, he's still getting trounced, uh, even if he is the nominee. And to finish off things here, just basically my thoughts on people supporting him. I I don't understand, to be quite honest. Um, I mean, he's horribly offensive, terribly rude. Now, I talked to someone who said that they were a Trump supporter, and their point was, oh, he's breaking down politically correct barriers. Well, I would disagree with that assertion. I believe he's building up barriers. I mean, he may be breaking down some with the right, but there's a reason that it's called politically correct speech. I did agree with this person's point that we've become too concerned, too obsessed as a society with being politically correct, but I feel that's a societal issue. There's a reason they call it politically correct speech. It's because it's speech that politicians use to not sound offensive. And when they don't talk like that, when they go out and say things like, no, we're going to ban all Muslims and, screw the POWs and stuff like that, it calls into serious question their character. And I believe that Trump doesn't have very much character. I would also go on to say that a lot of what you hear Trump say, at least in my opinion, he doesn't actually believe. He is the kind of person who can't ever go back and say, oh, I was wrong, or I misspoke, or you didn't understand me. So if anybody doesn't understand him and takes something the wrong way, he's going to support the wrong way, which is incredibly asinine, but that's what he's going to do. And furthermore, if anybody suggests something to him and he agrees with it on the spot, having not fully listened to what they said, um, he's still going to support that point of view because in his mind he can't ever be wrong. He's an incredible egotist. So again, I don't necessarily know that he supports all the points of view that he's necessarily espousing, but still, it's very disturbing, regardless of whether or not you actually believe that he, hates all Muslims, believes that all illegal immigrants are rapists and murderers, thinks that it's not okay to get captured in war. I mean, things like this, even if he doesn't actually believe them, the fact that he'd even stand up for that type of point of view is just ridiculous. So, basically, the gist of what I've got here is, look, if you're a Republican out there and you want for the Democrats to win, keep supporting Trump. That's the key. He will make sure that the Democrats win. I mean, I don't know for a fact that the Democrats won't win anyway, but I do know for a fact that if Trump either is the nominee or runs as a third-party candidate, then the Democrats will win. And I can guarantee that. I'd be willing to bet everything I have on that. So, make any comments you want to. I haven't really been able to keep up with comments lately, but if I get a chance, I'll respond to them. Peace out.